As a Miami fan, you can never get your hopes up when it comes to this program because they always are going to find a way to let you down. Anytime there's reasons to be optimistic, they always find a way to make you pessimistic again. And losing 28-23 to Georgia Tech does not surprise me. This game is the epitome of what this program has been for the last 2 decades. They give you a little bit of optimism, and then they go right back to reverting to the disappointing Canes that we've seen ever since the glory days have been over. I already see how the Mario Cristobal tenure is about to play out. When Cam Ward leaves, this is going to be a mid-program again. 7-9 wins at best is what I see for the foreseeable future when it comes to Hurricanes football. This program just is cursed. Anytime it looks like they've made a good hire, they peak early into their tenure, and then things go left. Miami should just go ahead and fire Cristobal once this season concludes, because I know how this is going to play out, and you know it too. You can't tell me, oh, JT, you're tripping. You're stupid calling for Mario Cristobal to get fired. You just lost to Georgia Tech, man. They only had 99 passing yards. They had over 300 yards of total offense, and 90% of those yards came on the ground. You invested all this money into the defensive line, and you can't stop Georgia Tech's ground game? Are you kidding me? So if Mario Cristobal is such a good recruiter, such an elite talent acquisition person, why do the Hurricanes always play down a competition? You struggled to beat Virginia Tech. You have to come from behind to beat Cal. You were in the shootout with Duke. Eventually, playing in these close games, playing down the competition, eventually it bites you in the butt. And when Cam Ward can't bail this team out, you see the truth about who Mario Cristobal is, a fraud head coach. I see why Oregon fans were glad he left for Miami. They upgraded with Dan Lanning. Mario Cristobal, or Mario Cristo fraud, needs to go. I know how this is going to play out. Miami can get ahead of the curve, fire this fool after the season, and go ahead and hire Lane Kiffin, Deion Sanders, whoever, because this man has more than shown over the last 3 years that he is never going to have this team ready to play on the big stage, because they can't even beat the crappy teams on their schedule. You lost to Georgia Tech, who got sent to the doghouse by Notre Dame a few weeks ago. Are you kidding me? They only had 99 pass yards. They had damn near 1,000,000 yards on the ground. Mario Cristobal is another bad hire that this program has made at head coach. They peaked when they started out 9-0, and now that was the end of it. That's the end of the hype train. We've been through this way too many times as Miami fans. They peak, and then they fall off a cliff. This is going to look exactly like how that 2017 season ended with Mark Richt. You start out 10-0, then you lose out, you lose the pit, you lose in the ACC championship, you get splattered in the Orange Bowl by Wisconsin. This season has 2017 written all over it. I wish I could see this team actually be as good as what they used to be in their heyday. I'm only 22 years old. I've been a fan of this program for 14 years, and it's the same bull crap year after year. New coach after new coach, it's the same story. You get a little bit of reasons to be hopeful about the future, thinking this program could be what they used to be, win the ACC, compete for a national championship, just to lose games like this. This is an utter embarrassment. Utter embarrassment. You got one of the most talented teams in college football. And look, I'm not about to put this loss on Cam Ward. This loss is on Mario Cristobal. How do you give up nearly 300 yards on the ground to Georgia Tech with all of the money that you invested into the interior of your defensive line this offseason? It's no surprise Miami won this game. They were getting lucky against Cal and Virginia Tech and getting in the shootouts against Duke. It was pretty obvious that this team was fool's gold. They were never going to go undefeated. And they were never as good as what people are hyping this team up to be. All this loss shows today is that if Cam Ward isn't on his A game, Miami is a mid opponent. And it showed today. It doesn't matter how good of a recruiter you are, how many top 5 classes you bring in, when you can't have those players playing at their high level on a consistent basis, week to week, you're playing down the competition. Who gives a damn about recruiting when you're losing to Georgia Tech and Georgia Tech doesn't recruit nowhere near the level that Miami does? Mario Cristobal needs to go. I see how this is going to play out. And when I said this a few weeks ago, y'all saying, oh, JT, you hating on Cristobal. How about it now? 28-23 is the final, losing to Georgia Tech. Utter embarrassment today. I don't want to hear no more excuses for this fraud anymore, man. He has to go once this season ends, because next season when Cam Ward is gone, this program is going to revert back to the same level that it was before Cam Ward arrived. Mid. With the mid head coach. It doesn't matter how well you recruit. If you're not good at managing this team and helping these players develop and have them playing their best football against inferior competition. Miami, man, I'm done with this squad, bro. I'm done with this damn team.